commentary gameplay video, I guess. Today I'm going to be playing one of my favorite games of all time, Burnout Paradise, and as you can probably tell, it's an open world racing game and it's very fun. Basically I'm just going to be driving around and just doing that sort of thing. So, as you can tell, it's very easy to crash, and it looks pretty interesting when it crashes. It goes into slow motion, and and everything. So, and there's lots of ramps and jumps and all that kind of thing, and there's races, and basically it's in my opinion the best open world racing game that I've ever played. Then again, I haven't played very many, but I have seen this near the top of many people's top 10, top 5, whatever racing games list, and I don't blame them for that because this is a very good game. I got this for $5 on Steam. If you don't know what that is, it's basically where you buy PC games, and I gotta say, it's some of the best $5 I've ever spent. There's a lot of different cars. There's, I think, 75 different cars that you unlock through doing races and all these different events and all that kind of thing. And I've unlocked 15 so far, I think, and I've put, let me check, 36 hours into it. So I've not done a whole lot in that amount of time. I've pretty much just driven around for a lot of the time, but the races are very fun. You go against maybe 15, well, probably not 15, maybe 10 cars or so. And there's lots of other different things like road rage, where you try to wreck other cars while avoiding them. Oh, that was a crash. Then you have other ones where basically other cars chase after you and you have to get to a certain point without getting completely destroyed. I'm gonna do a race real quick here.
Race east to the Wildcats baseball stadium.
So the map is pretty big. There's a city part, there's like highway parts, and then it's like, I don't know exactly how to explain it. I'm not too good at that sort of thing, but it's still pretty big and it's very fun, as I say. It's a lot of fun to play online too with your friends. I've played it quite often with some of my friends, and we've had a really good time doing that. Ooh, jump. Okay, so basically what I did there is I made myself go into last place. Now I'm in first. Sometimes that'll happen. You will, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll go someplace and you'll think it's a shortcut, but it's not. That's happened to me several times. And then, as you saw there, it apparently was a pretty good shortcut, which surprised me, since that doesn't happen very often. There's a few different kinds of cars in this game as well. There's aggression, speed, and stunt. I'm currently using a speed car. Basically the only difference between them is speed usually gets damaged easier, but the boost makes you go, it's the fastest. Aggression is pretty much usually the slower kind of, it's hard to take them down, basically. They're slower, so I don't use them quite so much, and stunts pretty much in between those. So, this is the map. I just drove from, if I can get over there, about here, all the way to over here. That was pretty much on just one road, so it's pretty big. And then you've got, all the events, so you've got, I guess, different races that are for different specific cars. Then you've got you know, that. Oh, that's a road rage. I'm probably gonna do that later. Marked man, the one where you avoid the other cars and everything. So there's quite a bit to do. And then there's all these billboards and things that you can go around and smash, and that'll increase your progress in the game. And there's just a lot of stuff to do. And as you can tell, you can get up quite a lot of speed even without the boost, and then you have to try not to crash into anything, but when you do it, sometimes it crashes really bad. Sometimes you'll just completely wreck your car, and other times you will do a drive away, which basically you destroy your car, but it's not enough so that it's completely wrecked, so it's still able to drive around and everything. So one time I hit the back of another car just driving around, and somehow I hit it, went up into the air, did a backflip, landed, and kept right on driving. It was pretty cool, I guess. That hasn't happened to me since then, but it was pretty interesting. Let's see if we can find a road rage, because those are very fun. Probably my favorite event that you can do in this game. As you progress during the road rage, every single one you do, that was quick, you will, it'll increase the takedown amount by one car. So each time it gradually gets more and more difficult. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating because sometimes you crash really quickly like I did there. There's lots of different types of takedowns you can do. You can do like ones where you kind of a normal takedown. Other ones where you make people crash into cars and buses and things like that. And then T-bone takedowns where you drive out in front of somebody so that it forms kind of like a T, and then oh, that rock did that very wrong. And then you can go to a repair station if you need to get your car repaired, like I do at the moment. So then that'll fix up your car, and every time you get wrecked, it'll count towards your car getting completely totaled. And if you get completely totaled, the race is over. You don't win unless you got the amount of takedowns that is set. So, like I said, sometimes it can be kind of frustrating getting taken down really quickly and frequently, which has happened to me several times. It's a good idea usually to use a car that's hard to get damaged, like the aggression cars. Most of those are hard to damage, and you'd probably be better off using those, but I usually tend to stick to either the stunt cars or the speed cars, just because I don't like the look of the aggression cars. And usually if you get one like this one that I'm using now, you'll be pretty good. And other ones, just after getting taken down one time, they will tell you to go to an auto repair because they get damaged pretty easily, some of them. Let me try and go for this red one. Or this blue one actually. Oh, where did that come from? It was just a bus. I don't know where that came from. Sometimes that will happen just any time during the game. You don't expect a car to be coming. You'll be going through an intersection and there won't be any cars there, and then by the time you end up going through the intersection, a bus or something just comes right out in front of you and you get destroyed. That was a ramp on the edge of the road. It's not very realistic, but sometimes there are ramps and stuff like that on the edge of the road. They have usually two parts to them. They have the lower part, which just kind of does a normal kind of jump, and then the part that goes higher, which if you get the edge of your car on that, you'll end up doing a barrel roll, which looks pretty cool. You can get on top of some buildings, do big jumps, and that kind of thing. So there's lots of places to do stunts in this game, basically. Stunts and driving into oncoming traffic and stuff like that will build up your boost so that you can go faster. Obviously, I got my target, so now if I get wrecked, then I will still win because I achieved my target of 18 cars. You probably also notice that these cars have different paint jobs on them and everything. You can customize your car. You can't do a lot of customization, but you can do enough so that you can get a look that you'll like with your car, basically. Oh, thought I was going to pass that, but I didn't. But I won, so that's good. In this game, you start out, you get a license, basically, and you start out with, I think, a Class D license, if I remember correctly, and then you move up to Class C, then Class B, which I have right now, and then Class A, which I will get in 5 wins for events. Then, ooh. So that was a failed barrel roll. Big jump. That's one of my favorite jumps in the game. And then sometimes you may crash immediately like I just did, and it's not very good. So we're gonna go try to change our car, or at least show some of the cars and maybe motorcycles, because we've pretty much seen cars. Well, at least seen what they do. The motorcycles aren't that different. The only difference pretty much is that, you know, they're smaller, the crashes aren't quite as interesting. I'll show you what I mean by that later. So, these are all the cars I've got so far. I have 17 out of 75, so there you can get quite a few cars. This is the one that you start out with, then you get the Mesquite, I think is how you pronounce that. It's an aggression car. Also looks pretty cool. This one is one of my favorites as far as the look goes. This is the first speed car you unlock. So this car, it's very shiny, as you can tell. And then you get this one. This is one of my more least favorite cars, I guess, just because it's looks like that. This one is a stunt car. I like this one as well. And then again, another speed car. This is a car that I don't like at all. Then you got this one, a stunt car. I really like the look of this one. Like the paint job on it and everything. You got this one, which I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me of the Batmobile, like the way the Batmobile looks. Just kind of the shape of it. You've got this one, which I really like the look of, and the paint and everything. It's got the flames and all that stuff. You got the Fastback, which I don't use. I would use it, but it's not that great looking. Then you've got this one, another aggression car. We got this one, which I got red, and kind of has a orange yellowish kind of shininess, I guess. This is the car that I was just using, as you can tell. This is another aggression car. This is probably my favorite aggression car. And then you've got this one, which I used for a little while, and then I decided I'd stop using it because it is very easy to destroy. And then the customization, I'm just going to go on this car. You got different paint finishes, so for this one, it's white, and then you've got other ones, like that's black, and that is blue. And then you've got all the different colors and everything that you can choose from. And then you've got different paint types, so that's metallic. You've got pearlescent, which is kind of shinier, I guess. And then you've got gloss. just plain color. Like I said, the bikes. You got 2 of them that you unlock at the beginning of the game, and then I guess 2 more that you unlock through doing events. The customization on these isn't quite as good, but you still got some. You got male and female riders. Then you've got different paint types again, and then different colors and everything. I usually tend to use this bike just because it's the faster one. So we'll use that for a little while. Yeah, so you can go pretty fast in the bikes. They're harder to control than the cars since you can't do all the different turns and everything. But still very fun. Ooh, I got it. Paradise Award. The crashing, if you crash straight into a wall, it basically just goes to the black screen and respawns you. If you crash into another car, it's more interesting than that, but it's not quite as good as it is if you crash the car. Didn't go quite as fast into that car as I expected. So it basically just does that. It doesn't really destroy your bike at all, but it's pretty much just, it doesn't even show the rider, which is kind of sad because you can't see them fling off into space, especially if you hit something really hard, but it's something, I guess. Not as satisfying as seeing the car crash, but I'll just drive around with this for a few minutes. Ooh. So, like I said, it is kind of harder to control. It is a bit easier to dodge things too because it's smaller. You know, it's not as wide and everything, but it's harder to turn because you can't do the e-brake turn or drifting, anything like that. If you're not going incredibly fast, you can still turn pretty easily, but then again, who plays this game and doesn't go incredibly fast? One thing that I do find kind of, didn't expect that. One thing I find kind of unrealistic about the bikes, I thought that hit me right in the head and it didn't even do anything, is that if you like hit a lamppost or something, it pretty much does exactly what it does with a car. You know, it doesn't affect your driving in any way, just kind of does that. And that's not really, I know it's not really a big thing to worry about, but it's still a bit more unrealistic. I mean, with a car, I can understand, you know, you get all the protection and everything, but on a bike, it's not quite as much. I hope you enjoyed this video and everything. Subscribe for more gaming videos. I'm going to be doing, reviews and just kind of gaming commentary like this one. Different things like that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day.